in the booklet that I share with you as a free tool for you to use of about 27, 28 pages. And it also deals with some important questions that we have, difficult questions that we have around grief and grieving. And not only grieving a person's death, but also grieving loss, major losses, such as going through a divorce, losing your family structure, losing a limb, going through a serious accident, losing a child, and a child losing a parent. Now, thinking of letting go doesn't mean letting go of memories, doesn't mean letting go of the love in your heart for a person who has died. But letting go refers to going through a process and embracing a process. It is personal and unique and individual. But as you commit to going through that process and find yourself in the first place unconsciously just being drawn into that process of grief, trying to recover from loss, only you know what you are truly going through. And there are times where words cannot express how you feel. As we progress through the phases of grief, it can take years. The initial phases can take a year or two, and we might find ourselves really stable and feeling able to deal with life, and then there could be a trigger or sets us back. So when we talk about letting go, it's letting go of each phase, but not letting go of the memory of the person, not letting go of the love at all. Treasuring a memory is not the same thing as letting go of the past. The reason why we as humans need to let go of the past is because we need to grow and allow ourselves to be happy and healthy. And there's a journey back to being healthy and happy, mentally, physically, emotionally, after a major loss. If we don't deal with the past, it will become a burden which will weigh us down and become too heavy for us to be able to healthily enjoy life. And the past is called the past for a reason. It's supposed to be in the past. This does not mean that anybody should hurry you along or force or push any kind of process onto you. But what I'm attempting tonight is just to highlight a few points which help you to become aware of what's going on if you are in any of these phases of grief, and to realize that there is hope for you to again enjoy life. Not letting go of the past can rob us of enjoying the present. And the present is all we have. Tomorrow is a promise, and yesterday is gone. So when we reach out for counseling or therapy or support in any way for our grief, or when we want to recover from a traumatic experience, we want to let go of the past. It might not be the first and foremost thought in our mind, and it definitely isn't simple. It's not a simple process. It is a journey. But eventually we want to let the past go and be where it should be, remain where it belongs. All the pain and the hurt and the disappointment and the shock. And we want to move through it and grow through it. And we want to see new growth in our life. We want to get to a place of tranquility, a place of healing, a place of calm, a place of restoration. And this is what I refer to as post-traumatic growth. When I speak of narrative therapy with my clients, it's always about a story. And the basic concept is that none of us have a single story. We are not one single event. We are not the sum of one story. All of our life is multitudes and multitudes of stories that have come together, and we are where we are now. We are who we are now because of all those stories. And every story has a story in itself. We need to deal with the stories of the past that have come, that we have brought with us into our future. And as we are dealing with that, we're growing into a new story. And we actually are the authors of our lives, which means that we have the ability to use the resilience tools we have and grow even more resilience tools to write a new chapter in our life. And by doing so, we are embracing our future. We are writing a story, a new story, so that we can grow into that story. I hope this makes good sense. The past shouldn't have the power to stop us from doing all the things that we were placed on this earth for. That past should not have the power to keep us back from being all that we can be. But there's a time in our life where we don't want to think about all we can be, and we don't want to think about the future, and we don't want to grow. And that is because we are in a deep space of grieving. So how do we grow after trauma? I just want to do an introduction tonight. I don't want to do the whole talk, but you're welcome to contact me for more information, or if you are interested in a narrative therapy session, in a journey, mapping out a future design for your life, or if you would like to talk to me about post-traumatic growth, you are more than welcome. So I'd like to introduce you to the concept tonight. Post-traumatic growth was coined as a term by Dr. Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun from the University of Carolina. And this is what they said, that people who undergo post-traumatic growth flourish in life with a greater appreciation and more resilience. The reason for that is because they get to a point where they want to embrace life. They just find themselves still being drawn down by the memories of the past. And that is when a narrative therapist can step in and just come alongside you, because it's not for us to redesign your life. You are the expert of your own story, and you are the author of your life. And what lies ahead is a journey that you can map. We want to stand up, and we want to leave the past behind, and we want to let go. In a healthy way, we want to remember and to treasure our memories. But we need to move on, and we need to find out how to enjoy life again. That's when we are ready for the post-traumatic growth process. And I like to call it redesigning your life. And I enjoy referring to the journey because it's a mapping journey. It's a mapping journey. We are going to places, you are going to places where you've not been before, because the future is unknown to all of us. Post-traumatic growth is your psychological transformation after a stressful encounter. And it is your way of finding purpose in your pain and looking beyond the struggle. But post-traumatic growth does not happen without trauma. It's a process that draws strength from what we've been through. History has proven that human suffering has transformative power. There are so many examples. With resilience, we can withstand the pain and survive the trauma. But this is the question: what does our quality of life look like after surviving an ordeal? Post-traumatic growth allows us to use our experiences to change our lives for the better. that's all I want to share with you tonight about this concept. And I know from my own life that I have found more tools in my resilience toolkit as I moved ahead through trauma. And when I found myself battling even stronger challenges and coming through those, I ended up with more tools. And many of them I use in my sessions to help other people with, because it's real and it's my story, but it's a true story. And today, I want to leave you with this encouraging message. You are able to embrace a growth journey after trauma. You are also able to enjoy a happy and healthy life again. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I would love to have your comments. Perhaps you've gone through a growth journey after specific trauma, and maybe you would like to tell me more about that, and we can arrange an interview. But we can all learn from each other, and I hope that this week will be a part of your growth journey in every way. Thank you for tuning in.